Let's look at it.
In these lay a great multitude of impotent folk, of blind, halt, withered, waiting for the moving of the water. For an angel went down at a certain season into the pool, and troubled the water. Whosoever then first, after the troubling of the water, stepped in, was made whole of whatsoever disease he had. And a certain man was there which had an infirmity 38 years. When Jesus saw him lie, and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he saith unto him, Wilt thou be made whole? The impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man, when the water is troubled, to put me into the pool. But while I am coming, another steppeth down before me. Jesus saith unto him, Rise, take up thy bed, and walk. And immediately the man was made whole, and took up his bed and walked. And on the same day was the Sabbath. The Jews therefore said unto him that was cured, It is the Sabbath day. It is not lawful for thee to carry thy bed. He answered them, He that made me whole, the same said unto me, Take up thy bed and walk. Then asked they him, What man is that which said unto thee, Take up thy bed and walk? And he that was healed wist not who it was, for Jesus had conveyed himself away, a multitude being in that place. Afterward Jesus findeth him in the temple, and said unto him, Behold, thou art made whole. Sin no more, lest a worse thing come unto thee. The man departed and told the Jews that it was Jesus which had made him whole. And therefore did the Jews persecute Jesus, and sought to slay him, because he had done these things on the Sabbath day.
There are several, and I must say it again, there are several pockets of information, several periods of intervention that goes on in this story. Touch your neighbor and say, neighbor, help me talk about taking possession of the position. Authority. That's what I want to talk about. Taking possession of the position. Authority. Listen. We discovered on last week, saints, concerning authority beyond Webster's definition, that authority is a fact of determination derived to by a confident decision to will. Y'all got to stay with me now.
Amen.
Broaden your mind. Are y'all in here?
Amen.
We discovered that authority is a fact of determination derived to by a confident decision to will. In other words, Crystal, authority is one's determination to make happen what they know that they are in control of.
Amen.
Are y'all in here?
Yeah.
You got to make certain things happen for you in your life.
That's right.
There's no handout.
No, all right.
There's no suit line.
No.
Are y'all in here?
Yeah.
There is no assistance that you will find in humanity that is going to help you to get a foot up.
All right.
Some things you got to slap yourself and say, I got to. Be determined it's going to happen for me. Determined. Now listen now, for there is a broad difference. There's a broad difference. We're dealing with this one fact that one's determination pushes them to a place to make things happen for them. It's not just be the ability to move the desk, but as well the authority to say where it stays. That just went over some of y'all's head because you wasn't here on Tuesday. No, for there is the broad difference between ability and authority. listen now. I said there's a broad difference between ability and authority. And if not careful, saints, we can be fooled by one believing it's the other. No, for ability acts with authority if the one in charge does not take a position to challenge you.
That's right, man.
For one with ability can have the capacity to do, but not the authorization to do.
Yeah, all right.
And if who is in charge does not take control,
All right.
then ability holds down the position.
That's right. All right. All right. Let's explain, Pastor.
I have, and every one of us in here has ability to do, but it doesn't mean you have the authorization. In other words, I have the ability to move this book and put it right there.
Yeah.
So do you.
Yeah. We do.
But if who's in charge
All right.
comes in the room
That's right.
and says, why that book laying there? That ain't where it's supposed to be.
Right.
See, authorization not only has the ability, but now it can make that which you put in place be put back where they want it.
That's right. That's right.
Which means you had the ability to move the book,
Yeah.
but you did not have the authorization for it to stay there.
That's right. What to say?
Are y'all in here?
Yeah.
Now, here the thing of it is, ability can put it someplace. Authorization, the one in charge, can come in the room and ignore it's even there and won't say nothing about it. So then it almost gives the appearance that the one who put it there had it right.
All right.
See, and that's what you got to understand Satan does. Satan has the ability to move stuff around in our life, taking control of certain things in our life, but he doesn't have the authorization. But if you don't know your position, you'll almost be convinced that what he did was supposed to happen, and so it stays where it ain't supposed to be at. Simply because you didn't know how to tell him that ain't where it belongs. Put it back.
All right.
Are y'all in here? Don't ever think now, just because I put the book there, and you come in the room and say that ain't where it belongs, that I may not argue with you.
All right.
But knowing my position, I'll say, look, move that book, or you be moved.
All right. Come on, Jim.
Because I can say, well, you know what? I think the books, that's going to be serve beneficial for people who could come in. That will assist them better for that book. That ain't where I want it to be.
All right.
Come on. I need some people on work
Amen. Oh, yes.
who have taken a position and wanted to argue,
All right.
but you realize you were arguing with the person who had authority, and sooner or later you realize I better, or else I ain't gonna have no.
That's right. Amen.
Now you can state your, but you better respect. Because what, authorization, the one in authority will say, well, you know what, I thank you for your view, but put it back. Now you continue to, after they tell you to put it, then you are jeopardizing your, are y'all in here? Touch your neighbor and say, neighbor, not in 2012. I know my position. Y'all ain't gonna help me. Y'all ain't praying for me. Are y'all getting anything already? Somebody shout authority. Because there are some things that Satan in your life has moved out of place. Come on in here. Come on in here. There are some things in your life Satan has tampered with. and he has tampered with it and almost made you feel like there was nothing you can do about it. But when you know who you are in God, even Jesus had to address Peter and stuff when his suggestion was headed to Jerusalem, and Peter foreseeing the danger that lurked there and said, Master, we don't need to go there. You know, they got a bounty out on your head. They're looking for you. We going to Jerusalem? No, we don't need to be going to Jerusalem. There's danger down there. And Jesus looked at him and said, get thee behind me. In other words, you're trying to pull rank. You're trying to exercise some authority that you don't have. You are trying to suggest to me. Are y'all in here? Amen. Let me tell you something, saints of God. It's more easily to state that 2012 belongs to us as opposed to taking the right position of ownership. We can all stand right here, right now, and say what this year is going to be, and decree and declare right from this platform what this year is going to be. But you better understand that this year is not going to yield to you the fruit of your lips without a doubt. You made a whole lot of statements about what is and what ain't and what's going to be and what's not going to be. But when push come to shove, you found yourself having to eat words simply because you didn't understand your position. This story, hear me good, the story of John 5, 1 through 16, like with what we discovered on Tuesday night, John 11, 1 through 42, dealing with Lazarus, has as well many streets filled with challenging information for any who seek to be well informed by God on how to take a position of authority in our life. Are y'all in here? No, for it begins, Yvette, its discussion a bit unpersonal. Unlike Lazarus, who was a friend to Jesus, this story reflects in its contents for its talks of a certain man in a certain place with a certain infirmity. There's no bonding and no closeness. No emphasis placed on likeness or love. Are y'all in here? No, for Jesus, it speaks in regards to the fact that what was going on in this story was happening just to a mere individual. No, a certain man. Someone say anybody. In a certain place. Somebody say anywhere. With a certain infirmity. Somebody say any kind of sickness. No. Leaving its scope, I tell you, broad and open to invite everyone from every place in life to participate. Everyone who have found themselves struggling in a certain place in life far too long. Now, before I chart the course of this discussion, let it be known that this year, 2012, comes equipped with the old and the new, the good and the bad. And it's your position on how you will approach it will determine what it will give back to you. Are y'all in here? Yeah. There are two sides to this story and this life for this year. Touch your neighbor and say, choose which side you want to be on. Choose the side you want to be on. So, you can live this life on the good, Or you can live this year in life in the bed.